Hi everyone, hope you're all doing very well. I just wanted to address a point in this video regarding the first mock that we all take. I vividly remember taking my first mock during my CAT preparation journey and feeling nervous about the result and thinking how would I score and what if I don't score well? Would I ever be able to crack the CAT exam if I don't score well? So I definitely understand how you may be feeling if you've taken your first few mocks, but at the same time, I want to address a very important point that you may have heard of, but I still want to emphasize on it and make you understand why it's critical to this journey. According to that point, CAT exam is not really a race, it's a marathon. And you know why people say that? Because you don't really have to be the fastest person to score the 99 percentile mark. Instead, you need to eventually land there after progressing through the entire journey. So, essentially, what matters in this journey is your growth from Jan to November. In the entire process, you are definitely going to see some pitfalls, and most of them will occur in the beginning of your journey, which is perfectly okay. And that's what I'm going to highlight in the rest of the video as well. And let me build a case by sharing my own mock scores with you. As you can see on the screen, these are some of the important numbers of my entire CAT journey. So 92 was the first percentile that I scored in the mock. So in the first AIMCAT that I took, which was a relatively easier AIMCAT, I scored 92 percentile. 99.5 was probably the highest I ever scored. I'm not really sure it's a ballpark number, but there were some mocks in which I scored more than 99.5 percentile, but they were only very limited in number. 99.2 was my average in all the mocks that I took in AIMCATs. This was a number which was shared when I visited Time Institute after having cleared the CAT exam. And 88 was the lowest ever I scored in all the AIMCATs combined, also combining the CL mocks that I took. So that was the second test series I had. But you know which number mattered the most? The only number that mattered in my entire journey was the 99.09 percentile, which I eventually scored in the CAT exam. So as you can see, there were a couple of mocks in which I did not perform well, and at the same time, there were definitely mocks in which I performed well and better as compared to my final CAT exam result. But at the same time, the only percentile that mattered was the one that I scored eventually in the CAT exam. But this was my journey. There was another journey which was very contrasting, and let me share that as well, which was of one of my juniors from IIM Ahmedabad. She is currently a student of IIM Ahmedabad, Divya. Her journey was something like this, wherein 3 months before the CAT exam, she was scoring around 80 percentile in her mocks. I have shared her journey in one of the videos on motivation hacks. I have linked it above as well as in the description. Go through that video as well. You will realize how sometimes you may not be scoring very well in the beginning, but just with a consistent performance across 3 months, you can definitely pick up your scores from 80 percentile, and she eventually landed at a percentile which was way more as compared to my own percentile. So she scored 99.27 percentile in the final CAT exam. And all this becomes possible only if you don't give up hope when you're not scoring well in your mocks, and especially in the beginning of your journey, because that's often the time when we don't end up attempting enough questions and hence getting a lower percentile than we expect. But what you need to understand is that every person has a different comfort level with the basics that they would have covered. For example, for a first timer like me, I did not know the syllabus. So it took me some time to cover my basics, whereas people who are probably repeating the CAT exam, they would not face the same issue. So you can't really compare apples with oranges at this moment. Instead, you should invest your time from Jan to May in building your basics. But at the same time, you may be wondering that if that's the purpose, then why should I even be taking the mocks? And if I have to take the mocks between Jan to May, what should exactly I be doing or aiming at while taking those mocks? There are the 4 points that I would recommend you to focus on while taking mocks between Jan to May. This is the time in which first you should understand the pattern very well. Since you might be taking the CAT exam for the first time, you need to understand what are the different sections, how much time is allocated to each section, how do the questions appear, in what format, that is, how many questions in each set, how many sets, how much time you should be spending on each set, all these kinds of questions. So you need to understand the pattern first. The second thing that you should be doing is to build the ability to sit through the exam for 3 hours. Now, this may seem like a simple thing, But trust me, there were a lot of times when one particular section came out to be very difficult and I really wanted to give up on the exam. I have actually given up on the exam a couple of times during my mocks, and I have regretted that later. So you need to build that ability to sit through the exam for 3 hours in total without any break in between. The third point is the most important point and the most critical strategy you are ever going to need in this exam. It is to look for the right questions. No matter which stage of your preparation you are at, this is something you're going to practice in each and every mock. So, CAT exam does not require you to know the answer to each and every question. The person who often ends up scoring well is the person who knows how to identify the question that he knows how to solve. So the CAT exam is not really an exam that tests your intelligence. Instead, on the other hand, it tests your ability to scan and pick and choose the right questions. And by right questions, I mean the easier questions and the familiar questions. And for you at this stage in the beginning of your journey, you only need to identify the questions that are familiar to you. Which means that if you've only covered 2, 3 chapters of your quants right now, then you only need to be attempting the questions from those particular chapters first. Once you have attempted the questions that you are familiar with, then you jump on to the questions that you may not have seen ever, that is the syllabus that you have not yet covered, and you try solving them. But at the same time, please let me tell you that you don't need to evaluate yourself on your score on the basis of the questions that you have covered as well as you haven't covered, which means that no matter whether you get those questions right or wrong, please don't evaluate yourself, because this is only the beginning of your journey. In the first 5 months of your preparation, don't judge yourself on your mock scores. This is the time for you to develop the ability to attempt the questions that you're familiar with and not the ability to solve them correctly. The fourth point stems from the fact that even though you may not be evaluating yourself, but you still need to be analyzing your mock. And when you analyze it and you realize that you have gotten some questions incorrect from the topics that you knew about, that is the time for you to revisit your basics. So you need to go through the concepts as well as the formulas. If you have already created a formula, good enough. If you haven't, go through this video and understand how to create a formula book, because that's going to help you with your revision as well as revisiting your basics. So at that time, you need to see what were the concepts and why were you not able to solve some question from a topic that you would have already covered in your basics. And since I mentioned analysis, a couple of you may have this question that do I need to analyze even the topics that I may not have covered yet? So to that, I would say that when it comes to BARC and DILR, there's nothing called as not covered. If you go through the solutions, you'll be able to understand how those questions or sets were to be solved. But when it comes to quants, yes, there may be topics that you may not be familiar with, or you may need to go through their concepts or formulas to be able to understand their solutions even. So yes, in that case, what I would recommend is try going through the solutions, because it's only 10th level math. So it's not something that you can't really understand. But yes, you may not be able to recall those formulas that you may have studied long back. So try going through them, but at the same time, don't burn yourself out. It's okay if you don't understand them. Remember that it's a marathon, and if there's something unsolved, you will definitely be coming back to it in some time. And the last point I wanted to cover was that if someone is wondering all this exercise is going to cost a lot of mocks, then let me share that in the beginning of your journey, you are only going to be using, let's say, 5 mocks at max between Jan to May, spaced out something like 1 mock per month. So it's not a lot. And if you still worry about it, I'll share a link in the description that shares a link to free mocks. You can use them instead. So spend this time understanding just the pattern. And the bottom line is to not worry too much about your mock scores at this moment. Only try to focus on the 4 things that I shared with you. Thanks a lot for watching this. Good luck to all of you. And if you have any doubts, feel free to post them in the comments. I'll also link a playlist to CAT preparation that may be of help to you. Thanks for watching this again.